Good evening, guys. Okay, we got Lance up here. Gonna do some technique work, taking a look at the strokes. Lance, I did a couple of things before I made this video, so hopefully this adds some value into what we're doing here. So this section of the video, this first part is we're really just stretching out. We got the kind of a warm down, warm up stroke. It's our quote unquote big 40s, which is pretty much about 70% power, at least in these strokes here. So this is mid change, so I want to make sure that we show this. So right here, this is where your reach is. Really good angle here. Okay, so coming in a little early, right? So Paul is hitting the water now. So you're coming in a little bit early, but I think it only is in a few strokes. So I think Daniel is a little bit early here too. So just watch that. This right here, this angle right here is where your paddle is fully submerged into the water. So if we take a look, yeah, see, so taking a look at the paddle blade here. So right about here is where we're fully submerged. So we'll move this over. So that's good. You know, we got that forward angle, which is really important. So main thing is we got that forward angle. Just watch the timing on the next one. So we'll take a look at the next stroke. A little early. So we got, let's see, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish frames. So 7 frames, I believe, is about 2/10 of a second. So just be cautious of that, be wary, take the extra time to stretch out, and then that way, oh yeah, that one was kind of bad right there. See, look, that's where Paul's hitting, and then this is where you're in the water. So just so you can see the perspective here, not trying to point out anything, not trying to call you guys out, but yeah, that does definitely help when we're all hitting together. So gotta make sure we're following the stroker. But besides that, I wanted to show a couple of things here. So going through, let's take a look at the right side. Yeah, a little bit early. Let's take a look at the right. I think the canoe is a little tight. It looks like you're in pain over there. I'm not sure if that's because the stretching, the paddling, or if it's because of the canoe. So yeah, so again, a little bit early coming in. Yeah, not as bad, not as early as on the left side. So overall, pretty good. So let's take a look at a couple of things here. I wanted to show you this one first, so you can see it. So left side, this is where we show the trail of the top arm. So really good shape here. It's not completely accurate because the canoe and everything was kind of bouncing, the camera was bouncing, but this is a good shape. It's a very symmetrical shape, so that's good. If you can, making this kind of D shape a little bit tighter, but I mean honestly, like this is a good shape as long as it's symmetrical. There's no like loop-de-loops or any like crazy like circles or anything like that. This definitely helps when you have a symmetrical shape like this. It helps with your top shoulder and not getting as fatigued as it could be. So let me back up. So that's a good shape here, and then shooting through. So grabbing the paddle a little high, not too bad. I mean, you got strength, so I'm not concerned about you not being able to pull that. But guys like Paul, like smaller guys, they're probably not going to be able to grab as high. So you see how Paul's got about a fist and a half length above the paddle. Yours is about maybe 2 to 3 fists above the actual blade itself. So just something to be aware of. Like try some things out. I think maybe if you grabbed a little bit lower, that would help. I mean, right now, like Daniel kind of grabs about the same place as you, and it is a little bit high. So one thing I do want to point out is flexibility. We talk about that with a few of the other guys. Flexibility is really, really important, especially when we're doing distance races or even in regatta, being able to bend and twist in ways that we need to for paddling. So one thing that I do want to encourage you is to do some stretching, do a lot of stretching before and after practice. It'll definitely help with with the twist and being able to get your body a little bit twisted more. But overall, like I do like the angles. So your bottom shoulder here, this left shoulder on the left side, bottom shoulder is what we refer to it as. Bottom shoulder is pushed forward. See how Paul is pushed even more forward. So he's got this top shoulder really cocked back. His bottom shoulder is really, really forward. So that's one thing that you can do is cock this top shoulder, this right shoulder back a little bit more. So that way this bottom shoulder can push forward. But again, flexibility is something that, you know, if it's not comfortable, then you're not going to be able to do it. So being able to stretch and doing those stretches before and after practice, that'll definitely help. Because what that does is then it allows you to get that twist. So as you can see here, take a look at Paul here. So he's got this bottom shoulder driven down, and then he twists his body. See how his body is twisting and sitting back up. So you got the good sit-up. I like your sit-up here. That's good. So you got the good hinge motion from your hips. It's just that twist. Not bad. It's not bad, but you know, we're always looking to improve. And so, you know, this process here is just for us to see what we look like on camera and see how we can improve on the stroke here. So again, I think the only thing for you right here is getting that twist. Work that twist so you don't have to do a lot of that hinging. So a lot of flexibility motions. It'll help you with the movement of your body. So lots of power here. Let's take a look at the legs. I think you could engage the legs a little bit more. See how, take a look at Paul's. Actually, Justin Marasco has a good video that I just made. Take a look at Justin's, you'll see his legs engaged, but take a look at Paul's legs. So once he hits the water, you see that leg start to drive back. You see that? Look at that leg drive. So really good, Paul. But that's something that we want to try to see if we can get. Getting those big guys, if we can get you to use every muscle, including those legs, because right now, Paul, there's no way he's going to be as strong as you. So in order for him to make up, got to use our legs here. So if we can get your legs engaged a little bit, that'll definitely help. Getting your hips twisted. So again, flexibility is really, really key. So going back, I want to do another one here. So taking a look at, this one here. So this is your shape, right? So remember the shape here, very, very good, symmetrical. That top arm really, really drives down. So you see how, where'd it go? There we go. Okay, so the top arm starts up at this top here, coming straight down, does not get stopped until you stop it at the very bottom, right? So you got that nice, straight, flat, push down with that top arm. So same with Paul, he's got that nice straight push down with that top arm. I want to show you in the beginning. So this is something that we talk about kind of like with weightlifting. So if you lift, 135 pounds, right? So it's going to be really easy, right? So you got the bar and plate and you're lifting it. It's really, really easy. Now you stick on 2 more plates. What's going to happen with your technique is that you're going to start using different muscles just to get it up. You might use your legs, you might use your back and try to use like your shoulders and get your body into it. That's essentially what's happening here. On this stroke here, when we're looking at these, these are like your, easy 1 plate. All right, yeah, I could do this all day. Let's do that all day. But when we go to the start of the run here, what's happening is this adds additional 2 or 3 plates because we're starting from dead stop. And so taking a look, let me delete these lines here. Taking a look at this blue line that is pushing down, what's happening is, okay, you start off really, really good. Okay, so you're driving that top arm down, this blue line is moving down, and then what happens right there is instead of driving down, normally it would come all the way down to about here, and then here, and then here, right? That's where it should look, and then what happens is it goes there, right? So that's what the shape should look like with those green lines there. But what's happening, let me just delete these, get this out of the way. Okay, what's happening is you're pulling that back instead of driving down. So you see the difference there, right? So instead of driving that top arm down, it comes and pulls back. So again, just like weightlifting, you're pushing down. So this one, right? So second stroke, okay, and then you're pushing down a little bit more, right? But then third stroke, further down, fourth stroke, further down, fifth, further down, okay? So there, see, look at that. See, look at the difference there. So I did that here. So this is like your fifth stroke in, where it's pushing down even further. So taking a look at this stroke versus this stroke, see that difference, right? So this one, it stops here, and then you start pulling it in towards your body, versus, take a look, okay, it's kind of that funky little shape, and then watch when we get to like the fifth or sixth stroke, this one, look at that. So that becomes way more symmetrical. Then coming through, driving down. So what you need to, we're asking guys is to paddle on the first three strokes just like how you would paddle on your last three strokes. So there is definitely a difference. I think I got something here. So boom. So actually the left side is not bad. Okay. The camera unfortunately was moving all over the place, so kind of got a little lumpy there on those lines. But overall, Lance, it looks really good. I think the one big thing right there is when your paddle is fully buried. If we can get more of a positive angle, if you can take a look, Paul's here, is in the front, Dano's here in the front, and then you got your paddle straight up and down. So flexibility, pushing this shoulder back, this top shoulder back, and this bottom shoulder forward. That'll help you with getting a little bit more paddle angle in the front. But good stuff, man. You got lots of power. We'll talk a little bit about the paddle machine a little bit later. I think we can give you like a session. We'll bring the paddle machine with us. But overall, good stuff. Got lots of power. Let's take a look at the this one, just kind of going through. Yeah. Little and a little early, right? So in the water right there, Paul is still out of the water. So just watch that timing, try to relax a little bit. I think getting a little bit more relaxed. Oh, there. See, now you guys are hitting at the same time. Right there. Oh, perfect. Beautiful. Right there. See? Yeah, so you got the timing down. I think you might be rushing a little bit. I'll see that one rushed. So anyway, good job, man. Welcome to the team, and hopefully you found some value to this, and we'll continue doing these throughout the season so you can see the improvement. And yeah, hopefully you can see some things and get some stretching, do some yoga. All right, see ya.